Hello, fellow YouTubers. AWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. Happy New Year's Eve. And yeah, just doing my annual end of the year live stream. And my countdown is going to be a little simpler this year because I've bought Transformers this year I've bought a lot of Transformers this year that I thought were good. And I haven't really bought a ton this year that I thought were bad. In fact, I only have two that I'm putting on my disappointments list. And I don't think they're bad. It's just I was hoping for a little bit more from them. And yeah, again, I bought some I bought a lot of good ones. Just I don't think I had 10 that knocked my socks off. So rather than trying to just make a list of 10 for the sake of having a top 10 list, I shortened it to a top 5. My favorite Marvel game is that's pretty tough. It would definitely be one of the Lego ones. Like the only other Marvel game I played, I think, is Ultimate Alliance. Wait, no, I have also played Iron Man 2. But my favorite non-Lego one would probably be Ultimate Alliance. Then my favorite of the Lego games, that's a tough one because that would be my favorite, like out of the Marvel games in general. But I don't know. I think I like Lego Marvel superheroes too. I'm sure that I think that's a hot take to prefer that over Lego Marvel superheroes one. That's a good one. I just really like Lego Marvel superheroes too. So I'll probably just wait a little bit before I get into my countdowns. This also might be a shorter live stream. We'll have to see. Like I might end up just doing 30 minutes as opposed to the normal hour that I go for. Again, just since it's a shorter countdown, but we'll see. I haven't yet. I'm really tempted by those, but I felt a little overwhelmed recently just with all the different things there are for my different collections. So as tempting as they are, sacrifices have had to be made. I might get them someday though if I get a chance. It's cool to see them doing IDW stuff though. Because I haven't read too much of the IDW comics, but I really like the character designs. One figure I've been thinking recently it'd be really cool for them to do would be the IDW Rodimus. I really love that design. Really wanted to get Tarn because he's got a really sick design, but I never found him. So I haven't gotten him either. Again, unfortunately, he's just another one that, as of right now, kind of had to be on my sacrifice list. I mean, if I find him somewhere cheap somehow, then I might get him, but I haven't grabbed him yet. Legacy Evolution distribution was not great, which isn't a surprise for a Hasbro Transformers line these days, but yeah, it definitely could have been better. The only one of the new Junkions I've gotten so far has been Scrap Hook because I thought he looked really fun. And I am really tempted by what's his name, Trashmaster, I think. He just looks really cool because he gives me animated vibes. I love that. I'll probably get started at the 5-minute mark. All right. So, first off, I want to start with talking about my disappointments of the year. Again, I don't think these figures are bad at all. It's just I had higher expectations for them, and they ended up falling a little bit short of that. So, here we have Rise of the Beasts Battle Trap. And the main thing, I was just really excited about this guy because I love, almost dropped him. I love this character design, but I do think this is a cool figure. It's got some decent posability. It's just he's got a couple tolerance issues that kind of hold him back a little bit. If he didn't have those, then I probably would love him a lot more. Again, I probably wouldn't feel this way if I thought he looked kind of but I thought he looked really cool in the initial images. So yeah. Battle Trap, not bad. Just a bit of a bummer. And my number one disappointment would have to be the APC Toys Red Gladiator. Again, he is a good figure, and I'm glad I have him. It's just I was really looking forward to having a regular Autobot Cliff Jumper with the first edition mold, because I think this is a really cool mold, and I was excited about having a regular version of it. But APC, I don't know what happened with the QC on this guy, because the knees are way too loose. Like I'm always having to make sure he's standing and not going to fall over when I put him on the display, and that's just kind of a bummer. I also feel there's a bit more they could have done with the paint apps, like some more dark gray in certain areas. I do appreciate the accessories though, like the dark energon shards and the human figures and everything. So yeah, not bad. Just I would say this was probably the most disappointing figure of the year. Hopefully, though, APC will re-release him with fixed knees, and he fell down. That really scared me. So this year, I'm doing my top 5 favorite Transformers pickups because there's one thing on here that isn't actually a figure. So while I said this wasn't really, I wouldn't say this is really a year that knocked my socks off in terms of the figures, there were important things that happened this year. Rise of the Beast came out in theaters. That was the first Transformers movie to come out in theaters since I started doing videos. So that was really cool. And I also went to my very first TF Con. It was an amazing experience. I had a great time. I'd never been to one before, so that was just really cool. And getting to meet some of the voice actors who have been involved with my favorite Transformers shows, I loved it. And one thing that's really special, I had this DVD collection for a little while, but now it has Gary Chalk's signature on it. And I'm really grateful to him for doing this because he did it free of charge because he was only taking cash to sign things. And that was a problem because I was just going to pay with my debit card. But he went ahead and just signed it for me anyway. I'm so amazed by that this happened. I'm really, really happy about that. So yeah, number 5, it's not a figure, but it's something that's still really, really special to me. Then at number 4, something else I got at TFCon, we have Beast Wars Rampage. I had been after this figure for a long time because it's not like he's super hard to find on eBay. Just it's hard to find him complete and for a good price. And don't get me wrong, I still paid a pretty penny for this, but just being able to find one that was complete and being able to get him right then, that was really cool. Now I finally have the rival for depth charge, and he's a weird figure, but he's still really cool looking. I love these original Beast Wars figures. They're a lot of fun. So yeah, number 4 is Rampage. So at number 3, we have Studio Series Rise of the Beast Cheetor. I really did not have the highest expectations about this figure because in the initial photos, I thought the design and color scheme just looked kind of boring. And I would still like to see what this design would look like with the colors from the original Beast Wars series. Like, imagine this, but with yellow and gold and dark blue. That would look really nice. But once I got the figure, the design grew on me. I think the transformation is fun. And this guy is just really, really fun to pose. I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting to like this figure as much as I did. Yeah, that's pretty much number 3, which is Rise of the Beast G-Door. So at number 2, we have a more recent figure. Yeah, I played Angry Birds. Let's see. I don't know if I want to say most of the games because there have been a lot of them, but I played a good chunk of them. I mean, of course, I played the original. I played Seasons. I played. There's another one like that was from in the Angry Birds trilogy collection that I have on the 3DS. Angry Birds Rio. I played that one. I played both Star Wars ones, and I played Angry Birds Transformers. I played Angry Birds Go, Angry Birds Epic. Oh, and Angry Birds 2. That might be it out of the ones that I played. Oh, and Bad Piggies. I love Bad Piggies. Can't believe I almost forgot that one. So I don't know what percentage of the games that is that I played, but I definitely played quite a few of them over the years. So my number 2 figure is one that I got just earlier this month. And I wasn't expecting to get him so soon because it's for a line that's coming out next year. But lo and behold, I got from Amazon Legacy United Chase. And I am so happy because for a while I've had people telling me that Rescue Bots is a good show. Even adults can enjoy it. So this year I finally decided to give the show a watch. I've watched all 4 seasons and they were right. I really love that show. I thought pretty much all the characters in it were fantastic. And then I was thinking, man, it'd be cool if they took these characters and modernized them a little and put them in a collector line. Then we got listings for a Chase figure, and this worked out really well. Just retweaking the design, you could still tell who this is, but it's still changed a little bit just so he fits in with the Generations aesthetic and feels more like a collector figure. But I also feel like it stays true to having not too overly complex of a design. I think he looks fantastic in both modes. I'm glad he comes with his grapple hook. Transformation is pretty fun. My only complaint with him is that the shoulder articulation isn't great. Other than that, this is a fantastic figure. I really enjoyed messing around with him, and I really hope they're doing the other characters in this aesthetic because this is a very strong start. So yeah, number 2 is Transformers Legacy United Chase. I haven't collected any of those. I don't know, the crossover figures, they're cool. I just don't really see what I would do with them for my collection. I do have a couple of the Star Wars Transformers crossovers. And I guess if you want to count it, I do have the Lego Optimus figure. I guess you could kind of count that as a crossover because it's between Transformers and Lego. But in terms of the Transformers Marvel ones, I have not collected those. They're just not my cup of tea. The number 1 figure, this was another one that was a really pleasant surprise because I was skeptical about him. I really wasn't expecting him to be that good. I was expecting him to just be average, but here we have Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Yes, I do have him. I didn't really see him in stores a lot, but thankfully I was able to get him on Hasbro Pulse. Did I? No, I don't think I don't know if I did ever see him. I forget if I did. But yes, I do have Kingdom Pipes. But yeah, I really just didn't have high expectations about this guy. I mean, it's Bumblebee. Bumblebee gets a lot of toys. Hardly any of them are any good. So I wasn't really sure what I would think of him, but I got him, and this is one of the best Bumblebee figures ever made. He looks great in both modes. The transformation is pretty fun, and he doesn't have the issues that a lot of Bumblebee figures have. He doesn't have a gigantic backpack. He doesn't look like he's wearing his pants around his ankles. Just overall, really nice figure. My main complaint would just be I wish he had better paint. Like silver on the sword. Maybe wrist articulation would have been nice. But yeah, I never thought that the Jeep Bumblebee would get a rival in terms of Studio Series Bumblebee figures, but then this guy came out, and ever since then, I've been having a bit of a hard time just trying to decide which one I prefer. Aesthetically, maybe Jeep Bumblebee a little bit more because this Bumblebee is still just another Camaro Bumblebee at its core. But for being just another Camaro Bumblebee, this is just such a breath of fresh air. I'm glad they took their time with this figure more. And yeah, I'd probably say this is my number one figure of the year. I mean, maybe I'd feel a little differently. To be honest, I didn't really put a lot of planning into this top favorite list this year. I just didn't get around to it. So I might feel a little differently if I were to do that, but I'm considering that one because I've seen some people prefer that over the Studio Series Core Class RC, which I can understand. I like the Core Class RC, but I just can't help but wonder why didn't we get a deluxe, even a smaller deluxe? I would have been okay with that. Just I don't know. The Core Class one, I wish they'd gone with deluxe size, but I've considered that one. I might get it. We'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much my top favorite Transformers pickups for this year. I'm sorry it's not as big of a list. I definitely would have liked to have had more figures on this list, but like I said, there were good figures. I'm sure there were really good figures that I just never got around to getting, like Tarn. If I'd been able to find him, I'm sure he would have been on this list. I'd try to get him now in the aftermarket, but he's already just more expensive, costs more than I'd really want to pay for a Voyager for a character I'm really not that attached to. Hopefully next year. I mean, next year is the 40th anniversary of the franchise, so I really hope that there's some more good figures that come out, like a bunch of ones that knock my socks off. Because I'm hoping for a year that can rival 2021. Like last year was good, but not as good as 2021. 2021, I had a hard time making a manageable top favorite figures list. It ended up being 35. Last year was good, but I was able to keep it contained to 10. And then this year, just 5, just a simpler list. I played Chibi Robo Ziplash. That's the only one of the games that I played, and I do enjoy that one, although I don't think a lot of people share that opinion. Maybe one of these days I'll check out some of the other games. So lately I've been checking out games that I just kind of look past for a while, and I want to play some of the ones. So I might check out more Chibi Robo games. So I guess now we can just do kind of a hangout. Ooh, least favorite Skylander. Let me see. I never liked Voodoo very much. Like all the way, when I just really remember disliking was him because all the way back in late 2011, early 2012, my friends and I pretty much all just really did not like him. Just his play style. I just never really clicked with me. His move set, I didn't care for it that much. I might give him another try one of these days, but just from what I remember, he was not a great Skylander to play as. So for now, I'd tentatively say Voodoo. Turbo Super Stunt Squad. No, I don't know if I've even heard. I don't know if I've heard of that game. Sounds kind of cool though. I haven't gotten any of those either. I was thinking about it. I wanted to get them, but they were just just other things that I couldn't. They were just things I had to sacrifice getting. Excuse me. I was tempted though because they look pretty cool, and it was nice to see them re-release some Skylanders that have been kind of cast aside since the first game. Excuse me. I haven't tried him out. Is he like significantly different from the regular version? I thought the repose was really sick. Like I liked how they had it where his axe was extended. It was really cool looking repose, but I'm not entirely sure if they changed the moveset or set or not. Like looking at his stats, apparently he is a pretty powerful one. Just I don't know, the primarily melee ones. Like there are some characters that use melee that I can enjoy, but generally I prefer the ones with better range. Yes, I have played that. I still need to beat it, but I have played Ultimate Alliance. That's the only one in the series that I played. I might need to check some of the other ones out at some point. Stand you back up, Cliff Jumper. Good. All right. I've conceptualized this idea. In fact, I might still have. Yeah. Okay, so back in 2016, I actually drew up my own idea for another Skylanders game, and this is before we knew about Imaginators. So I've actually been thinking about this idea more recently, but my idea for Skylanders 7 would be this one I came up with called Skylanders Brawlers. And my idea for it would just be it'd be primarily like a beat 'em up style game. And basically how it would work would be you'd have the Skylanders and you'd be able to equip various weapons on them. And I'd also have it where they were some of the first Skylanders figures that go on the portal to have proper articulation. And some of the characters I came up with was like an undead red snake named Whiplash. And I have Take Flight Food Fight. Then a tech characters like a rocket named Blastoff. Then something else I would do would be have a portal that was designed to look like an arena. And then Skylanders like doing crossovers, so I'd probably have Sonic be the crossover character. And I'd have where they all had their own like rage mode or whatever, and Sonic's would be the werehog. So yeah, I've definitely come up with some ideas for a 7 Skylanders game. I've never really been really, I never really been much of a PlayStation guy. And it's kind of silly, really, because I had a friend whose PlayStation died, and for some reason that just made me think PlayStations just were terrible, horrible quality, and it just made me never want one. I know that's kind of silly, but now if I were to get one, because and I'm not completely, totally opposed to it, I just never really haven't thought about it too much, but probably just to be up to date, probably the PlayStation 5, so I can play more of the like Spider-Man games because I've heard Spider-Man 2 is just like an amazing game. So if I were, probably just the newest one, the PS5. Although I've heard like really, really good things about the PS2 also, but at least for that one, I have like an emulator I could use if I want. Although I've heard that one's harder to use than other emulators. All right, I'll probably wrap this up at the 30-minute mark. I can see that. That's a pretty cool looking repaint. If I remember, actually, I kind of forget what he looks like. Let's see. Yeah, he is pretty cool looking. Like a lot of the G2 repaints, they have wacky color schemes, but I like how wacky they are. Just I just don't know if I can really get those just because I've other things I've collected. Gotta love the G2 color schemes. My top 5 picks. So it's not really a figure, and it's not something that I actually bought this year. It's just I got my Beast Wars Season 1 DVD collection signed by Gary Chalk. My number 4 pick was the Beast Wars Rampage. So I was just really happy to get this guy complete. My number 3 was Rise of the Beast Cheetor. My number 2 pick was Legacy United Chase. And then number 1 was surprisingly the Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Not my biggest list that I've had on a year-end countdown, but still some solid figures or just pickups in general. Yeah, the car mode probably is the weakest part of the figure. Just because he's got some kibble showing. I see much worse kibble on a car mode, but yeah. Yeah, Beast Wars definitely had a great story. Still holds up. I am a little tempted by some of those third party like Fall Cybertron, War for Cybertron figures. Just given that Studio Series Gamer Edition, for the most part, people seem to feel has been kind of fumbling. I don't really have a ton of them. In fact, I only have 3, and all 3 of them I haven't even opened yet. Guess I should mention I was finally able to find the Gamer Edition Optimus at Walmart the other day. I just saw so many posts. People were saying, check your GameStop for Gamer Edition Optimus. Hey, I found Gamer Edition Optimus in GameStop. And I went to GameStop multiple times and I never saw a trace of him. That was really annoying. And then people started finding him at Walmart. And of course, my Walmart in this area seems to hate Transformers. So, not that that's weird. Walmarts seem to generally hate Transformers. But I just went to one the other day that I haven't been to before, and they had them. So I'm excited about that. This is the War for Cybertron design. I wonder if they'll ever get around to doing the Fall Cybertron design, though, because I'm not sure how long they'll keep up the Gamer Edition line, because I don't really think people have been enjoying it that much, which is a bummer, because I was really excited about this line to see them finally do updates for some of these designs, especially the Fall Cybertron ones, because Fall Cybertron did not get a great toy line. Well, thanks. I'll never unsee that now. Let's see if they do an updated Fall Cybertron Optimus, though, because I know the original, like 2012 Deluxe one, people generally think is not a good figure. So just these games in general have had it kind of rough when it comes to action figures, aside from like third party ones, which again I might need to look into. It's a shame though, because they're such sick designs, most of them, but just I guess they're hard to translate into toys. So I guess that's just how it goes. It changes up a lot. I mean, it is definitely between like main the main three ones, the undefeatable and break through it all and find your flame. It kind of my favorite one changes a lot though. Like lately, it's been undefeatable, but then there will be other times where it's find your flame. Other times it's break through it all. So yeah, that'd be real. That'd be really cool to see him get an update. Are you talking specifically about the character from RID 2015? Because I don't. I'm just making sure because I don't know of any other characters to bear the name. I haven't gotten him yet either. I'm still a little iffy about if I want to get him because I do want to show support for animated figures, but at the same time, I like the original animated deluxe. Like this new one is a great modernization of him, except for having a different head. I don't collect anything. I just haven't watched Earth Spark in general. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, yeah, he was just such a fun character. We need more Decepticons with gangster personalities. He was just so fun. I don't know if I see them doing a masterpiece figure of him, but I could definitely see them doing one in one of the legacy lines. I could definitely see them doing something like that. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching Earthspark yet, Mike the Autocon. I haven't gotten around to watching that show yet. Yes, I'm really behind on his videos, but I have watched a lot of his early stuff. Definitely good stop motions there. If they were to do like Sonic as a transformer, I definitely say using one of the Blur designs as a basis. So you definitely need to be some sort of sleek race car, like what Blur usually turns into. Definitely. If it has specifically be like Lego AWC, one word, uppercase L, then uppercase AWC. And stop motioner is all one word with an uppercase S. Favorite 3DS game? There's a lot of ones I really like, so just keep it simple. I'll say Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. I really love that game. It's a lot of fun. That's another game I could check out at some point. Maybe I can get a link to my channel and post it in the chat. Maybe you can send it to him. Would that work? I haven't gotten Crankcase yet either. He's just there's been just so many figures lately. I've had to forfeit just because there's other priorities I have. He's been on at my Walmarts for like an eternity at this point. So if I don't get him, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely one of the biggest sacrifice I had to make was not getting the legacy Stunticons. I I really wanted to get them. It's just I was thinking about how Motor Master was going to be a commander class, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that. And also, this is kind of silly, but I heard a rumor that they were going to do Breakdown as kind of a hybridization of G1 and Prime. And don't get me wrong, I love Prime Breakdown, but I would have rather him just been purely G1. And turns out he was. A lot of people weren't super happy with that figure, but I might get him at some point. I've never really gotten into Power Rangers, which is kind of interesting because it's one of the things that I probably should be into based on other things that I'm into, but I've never really gotten into it. I could see that working for Sonic. That'd be kind of a cool look. Maybe the doors could somehow be positioned to look like quills on his back or something like that. Possibly. I don't know. The only thing that would be a little weird is that you wouldn't be able to give him a big head because Sonic kind of his design generally has he generally has kind of a big head, and that'd be hard to do on a Transformer. I have not played Devastation, and I've heard a lot of people love that game, and I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet, but I plan to someday. My favorite Optimus Prime figure, I got a lot of good ones, but I'd still have to say the APC Toys Attack Prime. It's a knockoff the Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus, and I just don't think you can do much better than that. It looks fantastic in both modes. Transformation is smooth. It's not overly complicated, but not insultingly simple. And again, if you had the APC Toys knockoff, the paint on him is incredible. So I would definitely say that's still my favorite Optimus Prime figure. It would take a lot for him to be right for him to be dethroned. Bumblebee movie Optimus is pretty close too, though. That's a good list. I like the Kingdom Air Razor. I really went back and forth on that one, but just there were design changes that I just the wheels on the legs, I just couldn't live with that. Maybe that's being unreasonable, but the Prime RC figures back in the day, even the little Legion class figure managed to store the wheels in the legs. So I definitely feel like they could have done with that with the Legacy one. So again, maybe it's just me being picky because I love Prime RC so much, but I just didn't get around to that one. That Silverbolt is really tempting. As crazy as it sounds, a part of me is kind of debating if I want to get him because he does look better than the original Beast Wars figure, which I do have. But the only reason I'm debating is because it's just one thing, but it's a pretty significant thing, in that his wings can fold up. Because with the original figure, he is not a shelf friendly figure at all. He's got big wings that stick out to the side, and he is a pain to display. A lot of Beast Wars figures are, though, so I might get the new one. That's a pretty cool. That's a it's an interesting color scheme for that RC, but she is kind of cool looking. Yes, that is one of my biggest guilty pleasure games. It has its problems, but I just at its core, if it had been a polished game, I feel like it would be just like my favorite video game ever made. As it stands, though, it's a game that I can definitely still really enjoy and have fun with. That original Quick Strike, I don't have him yet. It's kind of frustrating because I really question if the figure needs that much of an update because he looks pretty darn good in both modes. The only thing is that he's made of translucent plastic, and I just would not trust a figure that came out that long ago that's made of translucent plastic. It's a Spyro the Dragon game. It was a reboot they did kind of in the mid to later 2000s. It's not a very it's not like a super well-known game. It has kind of a cult following. It's kind of fun though. The gameplay is repetitive. It's a pretty fun game series. I just fairly like a couple years ago finally played the original Spyro trilogy. I just think it's kind of sad really that that's pretty much the only somewhat sizable game franchise where you play as a dragon because there just are not enough games where you get to play as dragons. Yeah, I don't know why they made that quick strike out of translucent plastic. Like I I get that. I'm sure at the time they had no idea the issues that translucent plastic would have later. It was just a weird design decision. I wanted to be excited about Battlegrounds, but I just didn't think it looked worthy of being on consoles. Like if it had been a mobile game or something like that, I might have checked it out. But just for being the next big console game, it just didn't look like the kind of thing I would enjoy. I live with my parents. This is where we're living right now. We actually just moved into this house last year, and this is my bedroom. Then I have another collection room, my main collection room that's down the hallway. My YouTube goals, just pretty much not really anything particularly, just upload videos about things that I like, and just hopefully people will enjoy them and maybe we can talk about it. And the thing that got me doing videos, funny thing is that I mentioned this a couple times, but this channel was initially my main theme was going to be Halo stop motions, and I was just making stop motions. I'm able to show them to my friends, but I wanted more people to see my stop motions, so I started uploading the videos here, and I definitely do want to. I've been meaning to do more stop motions on this channel. I just haven't gotten around to it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I enjoy doing collection tours. I didn't get her either. I was just a little iffy because I know this is a hot take, but I was honestly okay with the Netflix Alita one. I did get the Minerva retool though. Yeah, I can see that. It's tough to find a balance between the different things you enjoy collecting. And it doesn't help that those are like notoriously expensive lines. I could never I just couldn't get rid of Lego though because I've loved Lego for most of my life. I do actually have a Halo collection that I've displayed, but not really something I'm collecting a lot these days. I haven't even played the games a ton recently. I do need to play more of Halo Infinite. I just haven't gotten around to it. Just been busy with other games that I've played multiple times. I might as well mention. I assume so. That was something that kind of bugged me. Like the exosuit got no explanation. I definitely would have liked to have seen more context for how he was able to do that, but it could be an ability that the other Autobots have. It's hard to say. Trying to like a spaceship that was white. Had 3 cockpits. Trying to think of what that could have been. Do you have an idea of like what time frame roughly that it was from, or? I mean, yeah, those are fair points. I like the movie, but I can see why some people weren't happy with. There were some I definitely had a couple issues with it, just some things that weren't explained. I haven't. The only Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies I've seen have been the ones by Michael Bay, and I know people don't like those. That's cool. Let me see. I don't suppose it was like Space Police, was it? I have not played it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like I mentioned earlier about Power Rangers, it seems like one of those things that I should be more into, just because I like things like Sonic and Transformers. But it's like I like it. I just never really got that into it. I do want to see the new movie though. I thought the second one was pretty decent, but again, I'm not like a hardcore TMNT fan. If I was, there probably would have been more. I probably would have been really bothered by those movies, but just because I never really gotten that into it, I thought they were all right movies. Who knows? Maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is another thing I'll add to my geek list because I desperately need something else to collect. Yeah, Space Police was one of the like main themes that was going on around the time that I first got into Lego. They discontinued it a long time ago though. It's just kind of one of those themes along with like power miners and such. Just things that didn't stick around for too long. Though Space Police was technically like a sort of spiritual successor to other Lego space themes. I think it was the last one in that type of theme. Because a lot of times these days, Lego doesn't really introduce new themes. They just incorporate it into an existing theme that's more popular, which I can understand, but it's kind of a shame we don't really see new themes that don't need a show connected to it or anything. Yeah, they discontinued back in 2010, possibly. Yeah, I didn't really get a. I only got one set if I remember correctly, but they it looked like a pretty fun theme. Yeah, I knew about the Knuckles TV show. And yeah, if you haven't seen the second Sonic movie, it's a really fun movie. And the best thing about it is that you can enjoy it even if you're not like a hardcore Sonic fan. It's still enjoyable. Like there will be references you miss, but it's still an enjoyable movie. You won't really be too confused by the references or anything. Okay. All right. Walmart. You didn't like the look of Supersonic? That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. They've definitely redesigned him a couple times. Supersonic. It was definitely a surprise inclusion, well, sort of, except Jax had to spoil that he was going to be in the movie. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely fair. I might like the human characters, okay, but I don't need the movie to be all about them. I definitely feel these movies are better with that concept, like compared to the Michael Bay Transformers movies that had way too much humans. I definitely feel like the Sonic movies are better with heavy human characters, but ideally, I would probably prefer something where the only main human character is Eggman. Like I've been rewatching Sonic X recently, and it's a pretty fun show, but the humans just take up way too much screen time. Yeah, I don't like them doing that. Like, why do they think we want to go see movies about humans? It's called Transformers. I'll stick with the shows that definitely generally have a much better idea of how to balance it. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a nice thing about Beast Wars. When I think about back in the day with G1, they knew for them they knew how to use the human characters. Like I didn't really there weren't really too many instances where I felt like they were taking up too much screen time. They didn't feel overpowered like they did in the Michael Bay movies. Not that I want them to be like completely helpless, but I just I don't think they should be able to know how to take down a Decepticon so quickly. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, that's fair. I may not have grown up with it, but I do. I love G1 and Beast Wars. They're both great shows. Yeah, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And Starscream was done dirty in the movies. I mean, I was a little more okay with it by that movie because it's like had time to study the Decepticons, but I still think it should be Autobots taking out Decepticons. It doesn't bother me as much as Blackout in the first movie. Like by the end of the first movie, they're able to just They just know how to take out blackout. Like, okay, sure, hardly any time to study how they work, but yeah, why not? Oh, blackout was done dirty too. Yeah, last night. Oh boy, it's just a. I might be able to find some ironic enjoyment in that movie, but the movie is just kind of a disgusting movie. It's not a good movie. Yes, I've been watching Kung Fu Panda since day one. One of my favorite animated franchises for sure. I was a little skeptical about them doing a fourth one, but it's happened twice now where DreamWorks made sequels that I didn't feel were necessary that I ended up loving. So I'll remain cautiously optimistic about it. Yeah, yeah, that was that was a thing. I have not seen that yet. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'd say it's my number one favorite, but I could get behind that. It's one of the most consistent movie franchises for sure. Like there isn't a bad movie. I forget if that's the show or if it was like a special they made or something. Because the annoying thing about DreamWorks TV shows back in the day is that it could just be because I didn't always have access to Nickelodeon, but they got like no marketing. Like I never saw commercials or toys for 'em or everything or anything. So I was like, oh, they made a show. Okay. Yeah, there was either a TV show or a special. I am considering him because he was they had him as a character in Rescue Bots, and since I'm starting a Rescue Bots collection now, he might be nice to go along with it. Yeah, ads just suck. I wish there was more I could do. But I have found hacks to skip even ones that are supposedly unskippable. I just don't know if I really want to pay for something every month just to not have ads. I don't know if I've heard of Stick of Truth. I can believe it's worth it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that explains. I've never really been into South Park to be honest. Just me. Favorite toy line. This might sound crazy. As much as I love Transformers, I still have to. I still got to go with Lego. Again, I've loved Lego for most of my life. Yeah, yeah, that's why I've never really been into South Park. Just adult animations in general, generally, they don't really do too much for me. It's just not my cup of tea. Yeah, for favorite toy line, I'd still have to stick with Lego. There's a lot of variety. I remember seeing that one I've heard about. Exactly. Yeah. Lego, it's a nice, relaxing hobby. Once you have the sets and have destroyed your wallet, but it's still a really fun hobby. All right. Yeah, maybe I could look into that. Thanks a lot, Toy Mention. I really appreciate that. So let's see. Because of that, I am closing out 2023 with 677 subscribers. I really appreciate all the subscribers I've gotten over this year. I was stuck in the 400s for a while, but I got to 500, then shot right past that into the 600s, getting closer to 700. So I really appreciate all the support this year. So I would need to be more into it in general. Okay. I'm glad he subscribed now. Thank you. Yeah, until I can get to 1,000. One thing I will say is that I was initially planning to do a much more dramatic face reveal initially because that just sounded cool when I started this channel. I was a lot younger. I'm I'm a little shy, but it was really more just because when I was in my kind of like mid later teens when I started this channel. And at the time I heard about these YouTubers that don't show their face, and that just sounded so cool and mysterious to me at the time. So the only reason I'm still doing it is just because I want to commit to what I said. Otherwise, I probably would just do away with wearing a mask. But like I said, the thing that has changed, I'm not planning to do a dramatic reveal anymore. You might see one video where I wear a mask, and then the next video like that, I'll just have it off. And yeah, not really planning to make it any too dramatic or anything. I just don't see a point in that. Since honestly, it's not like it's that big of a surprise when people reveal their face. It's just there's a human face underneath, and that's all there is to it. I have not gotten him. He's one of the earlier ones, and when it comes to studio series, I don't really. I built up a decent studio series collection, but I pretty much just get named characters. So ones like the KSI Sentry, it's just not really my thing. Like for Prime, I might enjoy collecting troop builders like the Viacons, but studio series, I just don't really collect those kind of figures. See, Superhero Squad show. That was a Marvel one, wasn't it? If so, I saw a little bit of that. Yeah, like I appreciate a challenge because if it's too simplistic, it's not really. I feel like that can drag a figure down, but if it's too convoluted, I won't give names, but Kingdom Rhinox, it's just it's not really fun because it should be a fun and engaging puzzle, not something that makes you constantly fear of breaking the figure. Kingdom Rodimus, though, I'll give you that. That's a fantastic figure. Yeah, those just I've never liked those very much. It was a shame because there are some that pull off just the quick change gimmick fairly decently, like some of the animated activator figures. You push a button and most of the transformation is done. And there may be a couple things you have to fold out, but they have fairly decent robot modes, like not a ton of articulation, but it's commendable they have any articulation. But nowadays, they've gotten so lazy with those types of figures. You just flip it out or something like that, and their arms can move, and that's pretty much it. Yes, I have played Lego Marvel Avengers. I've played most of the Lego games that have been developed by Traveler's Tales. I have played them. Yeah, the Avengers one. It's pretty fun. It's definitely not my favorite of the Lego Marvel games, but ooh, Batman or Superman. At one time, I might have said Superman just because I like that he was just I like that he could fly pretty much. But nowadays, I probably would say Batman because I just I like those kind of characters, so I'd probably say Batman. Most of the Lego games let you do that. Actually, they've been doing that pretty much ever since Lego Star Wars. Forget if they had it in the original one, but I know at the earliest they had it in Lego Star Wars 2. Oh, with powers, like customizable powers. Let me see. I know the DS version of Lego Batman 2 actually has it where you can use other characters' powers. I don't know why they didn't have it on the TV console version, but the one that has the best character customizer with powers and everything, well, two, I'd say are Lego DC Supervillains and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. The customizers in those games are just incredible. Let's see. For let's see, DC, I guess Flying and Marvel would be Speed. If I had to pick between the two, it would be Speed though. I want Super Speed. I know that if you look at it scientifically, there'd be problems with it, but I really want to be able to go super fast. It's a dream. That'd be so cool. Flight is very tempting too, though. I didn't get around to checking out that movie. I was considering it because Flash is I said earlier I like Batman, but I would still say Flash is my favorite DC superhero. I was kind of surprised that that movie bombed at the box office because I thought it would do better than I'm sure it was due to the controversy with Ezra. And I hate it when that happens when something that the actor does outside of the movie drags down the movie's reputation. That's really sad when that happens. I might check it out though. That'd be really fun. I'd like to be able to go back and look at certain events. I'm a nostalgic person for sure. Just if I were to do that, I just need to be sure to skip over those certain cringy memories. Who knows though? Maybe I'll get around to checking out that Flash movie at some point. I used to really enjoy the live action Flash TV show on the CW, but that got not good. Yeah, yeah, I can believe that. That's something I can definitely appreciate these days. Like, not something that needs a super deep one, just something that's fun to go watch. I am curious to see what they're going to do with the rebooted DC universe, though. Yeah, that's what I've heard, which is a bummer because I know this is kind of a hot take. Apparently, not a lot of people like it. I personally really liked the first Aquaman movie. I thought that was a fun movie. Yeah, it's a shame about the Justice League movies because they hadn't just rushed into making a Justice League movie so early on, like without establishing the other characters. Okay, good. I'm not alone in that. Yeah, my favorite of the DC movies, I definitely say, were like um Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman. I thought looking back, I've gotten more critical of it looking back. I thought Man of Steel was pretty good. That's that's about it, really, for the DC movies with me in terms of ones I like. I didn't watch the 2021 Suicide Squad. I probably should because I've heard that's really good. What do you think of it? Did you like it? Yeah, the second Aquaman movie has been doing too hot at the box office, which I'm not surprised about because DC barely marketed it. That's just been an issue with movies this year. It's kind of like they just come out and you're like, wait, what? I never heard of this movie. Things just were happening behind the scenes, I guess. They were keeping them from marketing movies. I don't know if you heard that, but I just heard the one of the first really audible fireworks for tonight. That'll be fun. But I guess I can sort of understand them not wanting to put a lot of marketing into movies because I know they marketed Flash a decent bit and then that bombed. So I guess they don't want to spend all that money on marketing. Oh boy. I'm sure dogs generally don't enjoy fireworks very much. Okay, yeah. I know I've heard like I've heard people generally say the Suicide Squad from 2016 is like really bad, and then the one from 2021 is it's definitely better. But Oh, I haven't watched either one start to finish. Let's see. Here it is 7:35 p.m. Happy New Year, though. Can't believe we're at the end of this year already. It flew by, as years usually do. That definitely sounds like it would be an interesting look. Okay. That sounds cool. I do have Facebook. I might need to see if I can find that profile. It's a fairly simple mask to do. You really it's actually just a t-shirt. You just take it, put your face through the neck area, then take the sleeves and then tie them behind your head. I got this technique for a Leica magazine a while ago. Hopefully those fireworks won't be too disruptive tonight. I might if I get a chance. Now I know those G2 figures showed up at Walmart's, but I haven't actually seen them at my Walmart's. Because as I mentioned, my Walmart's do not like Transformers apparently. Yeah, it's just the fireworks going out there. We're setting off some pretty big ones though. I I think I've heard a dog howling a couple times. I think. I haven't really done a whole lot of fireworks. My family and I, at least one year I can remember, did get some fireworks, and those are some Sonic figure boxes. It's I've actually gotten the stuff out of them. I just haven't gotten rid of the boxes yet because I might use them in future reviews. We'll have to see. But yeah, one year is pretty funny. My family and I we got some fireworks and didn't really use them a ton on like the actual evening of July 4th, but the next day we took them and there's like this little pipe that had water in it. We stuck a firework down in there and heard it fizzle a little. Then the water just flew up, and then there was a bug down in there, and it came flying out, and we didn't actually see it, but there's just a bug kind of stumbling around. So I think he was down in the water, and we knocked him a little silly. It was pretty funny. I do have some of my figures displayed in my bedroom. It's just there's a room that was like pretty much empty, and when we were first looking at this house, I saw one room. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be my collection room. Then I saw this room. I was like, yeah, this is going to be my bedroom. And I was actually planning to set up my desk in the collection room also, but by the time we had things set up, it just seemed to make more sense to put the desk in here. I am planning on setting up some shelves in here though. Wow, 3 dozen shelves. It's fun when you have all those shelves set up and you just know you're going to just fill them with different things you collect. The only thing is dust. Dealing with dust is quite a pain, but it's worth it because it's fun to be able to show off your collection, just have them all organized and everything. All right, yeah, I'll be sure to check that channel out. It sounds fun though. I do really enjoy collection room tours. Yeah, yeah, that's the worst. Okay, yeah, probably for the best. I mean, picking them up to dust underneath them is one thing. It's just when they get dust in them, that's the worst, especially if you have as many Lego or Transformers as I have, because they definitely have crevices that dust likes to get stuck down in. So yeah, it makes me wish I just had force powers. You could just lift all the dust off, just get rid of it. One of these days, so I'm definitely planning to go like all glass cases to keep them safe from dust. I already have one that's got some windows on it. And it's my Bavers collection of all things, which I didn't think I'd be giving that kind of treatment really, because it's not really a top priority for my collection. But those figures do have a lot of sculpted details, so I guess it's nice to keep dust off of them. The nice thing is that a lot of times, at least the shelves I have, you're able to get them fairly inexpensively. I'm sure glass cases are a lot more expensive, but just go with the typical shelf. They're not. You can get them fairly for a fairly affordable price. Yeah, I definitely think that's the best direction to go. I'm just not sure if I want to commit to that right now because I know one of these days when I have my own place, I'll probably be moving my whole collection there. So I really don't want to set up glass cases now. So oh boy, most expensive thing. Um I'm not entirely sure. I have like some Lego sets from the 80s and 90s. Those would probably go for quite a lot. Let me think. I do have the Studio Series 86 Grimlock, and he's a lot of people have been saying how expensive he is lately. Yeah, that's a hard thing to say. That's something I want to do one of these days is like go through my collection and find what the rarest thing is that I have. That'd be really fun. Okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. Got a lot of figures I gotta add to my displays. Okay, yeah. That sounds like it'd be cool. Cool figure. That's a hard thing with the high end stuff. Like a part of me has been kind of tempted by it, but I just don't know if I want to go high end because just mainline is getting expensive. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Oh boy, that's not a good combination. Hearing fireworks and now there's sirens. There's probably going to be a lot of that tonight. All right. I hate to do this. I probably am going to cut the stream off in a minute here. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed talking with everyone here. It's gone on longer than I was initially thinking, but I'm happy about that. I wasn't sure if I'd have too many people tune in. Yeah. I'd like to hope for that, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm not I'm not too hopeful. No, you're fine. No, I'm glad I was able to do that. I've enjoyed talking with everyone here, and it not keeping me up at all. I won't be going to bed for a little while yet. I I'm not really. I don't really generally say my name, but if you go to my earliest video, I'll just say that my first video has my name on it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'll do my best. I know I haven't been putting out. I know I haven't been putting stuff out as regularly this year, but I'm trying to prioritize quality over quantity. Like if I'm not happy with a video, generally I reshoot it. I've done a ton of live streams. I used to do live streams for like watching Hasbro events, but I kind of quit watching Hasbro events because they show off good stuff there. But the live streams, they're kind of tedious to sit through. I just prefer looking at the figures after the fact. So yeah, I don't really do live watchings anymore. Maybe I could do more live streams regularly though. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I have a I have a decent subscriber base, and if everyone was tuning into my live streams, then it'd probably be a pretty busy chat. But this is easier for me to keep up with, and plus, it's just a matter of doing our live streams on a day that's convenient for everyone, which you're just not going to be able to do that. I'm glad you're able to catch it. They are, like I said, I probably should do live streams more often. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I want to do live streams every weekend, but maybe I could try to figure out how to do maybe I could try to do monthly live streams or something like that at least. I'm not making any promises, but I could look and see if I can do that. I'm gonna be honest. I am looking forward to when I can ditch this mask, so I'm not constantly having to adjust it in my videos. In my earlier days, I actually wore an Iron Man mask, but that mask like kind of suffocated me. So yeah, I had to change that. Dinoware is the line from the see, was that the line from like the 80s? Or is that a Lego theme? Because I have heard of the line from the 80s. Okay, yeah. I watched some videos talking about those. Yeah, it was a nice mask to just kind of stick on, but I considered getting the Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal mask. I was considering that and making that my main mask, but I didn't get around to it. It's kind of an obscure line. Like not a lot of people talk about it. I heard that those are like they generally were not very good quality. That they were made of very fragile plastic. It's a yeah, concept the mask turning into an axe figure. It's a stupid idea. I'm like no doubt about it. It's a stupid that I think is that I kind of like, but it's still really dumb. Yeah, that was a big. I was very honored by that he was willing to sign that. If you can ever get out to you can ever get to TF Con, the voice actors are like really friendly. So if you're ever able to go to one, I definitely recommend it and meeting the voice actors. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So you have had an interaction with the voice actor. That's nice. Wow. Okay. People were really excited to meet her, huh? Wow, that's really cool. Then you got to meet her. Got to meet the voice actor of your favorite character. I am. I'm familiar with Dragon Ball Z. It's just. It's another thing I haven't gotten into, but again, I might at some point. I mean, I'm into Sonic, which takes a lot of inspiration from Dragon Ball Z. Thank you, Toy Mention. Will do. And I hope you have a good New Year's. New Year's also. Yeah, Beast Wars, very really definitely a fantastic story with great characters. I'm glad it's finally been getting some more recognition lately. Favorite Skyliner Sensei, probably Robo. Robo was really cool, and I was very lucky to get him because he was very rare. Yeah, Beast Machines. I haven't seen that, and the only thing that would make me watch that would be if I just ever decided to watch every single Transformers show ever made, just to say that I could, that just to say that I had. But yeah, the Beast Machines does not. That show does not look good. Yeah, yeah, it was the one of the first Toys to Life games. And there have been games like that with Toys to Life, but Skylanders really started that trend, and then Disney jumped on board, and then so did Lego. Seemed like everyone wanted in on the action, which kind of did Toys to Life in, which I can understand, but a part of me does still kind of miss it. It was a fad. It was expensive, but it was fun too. The what was it called? Like Play Motion or something like that? And yeah, Lego Dimensions was that one, and Dimensions got robbed. It deserved to go on for so much longer. Yeah, that was the Lego Toys to Life game. Yeah, it had a lot of potential, but it ended after just like 2 years. It didn't last very long because it came in very late to the game. Started in 2015, and that was right. I really think of that as the time where people were really getting sick of Toys to Life. People were just ready to be done. It was just a game. It would have been it was kind of a cool idea. Would have been cool if it was a show though. Get an epic Lego crossover with all the different themes. The only thing is that it wasn't able to have Star Wars or Marvel, which really would have really been cool to have in it, but they were already in Disney Infinity, so Lego couldn't incorporate them. Which is a shame. It would have been neat to have Iron Man and Batman team up. I guess it was just too much for the game to handle, huh? That's something I'm kind of surprised that Dimensions didn't do too much of, like creating your own worlds and levels and such. Like that's right up Lego's alley. Huh. I didn't know I had that. Skylanders had that mechanic, but Dimensions didn't have that for the characters. It had it for the vehicles, but not the characters themselves. That's just wrong. You should be able to just go nuts. I wonder though, because Infinity is actually available on Steam. So I wonder if you have like I wonder if someone has like a really powerful gaming PC, if it would be able to handle all that. Because that'd be nice. Nope, all the characters are included with it. You don't have to buy the figures. How it handles that, I'm not entirely sure though. Yeah, that'd be nice. It's a shame you can't access the Steam through the Switch. That'd be really nice. I have to confess, I haven't actually gotten a Switch yet. I was thinking this year is when I'd finally just get a Switch, but then Lego ended up releasing a lot of expensive stuff that I wanted. So I was like, yeah, a Switch can't happen. I definitely want to try it out one of these days, though. I just haven't yet. Looks like there's a lot of cool games for it, though. That'd be nice because I believe it's worth it. I don't doubt it. I just haven't gotten one yet. I hope the Switch 2 turns out well. It'd be nice if they could make one that's more powerful. I mean, it's pretty powerful for being having a handheld mode as it is, but I know Nintendo just generally isn't really in favor of having the most powerful graphics. I haven't heard of that. Sounds pretty fun though. Yeah, yeah. I play a decent amount of video games. I have games I play on the Wii, Xbox 360, and then the Xbox One and the Nintendo 3DS. Nowadays, I play a lot of games on my computer, and I'm currently currently working towards getting a gaming PC just to handle more powerful games. But yeah, I've played a decent amount of video games for sure. I want to do more video game playthroughs on my channel. I just whenever I can get a capture card and just figure out how to get that set up so I can do proper videos for it, I definitely want to do that more on my channel. It's a pretty fun game. I think there's some things it does better, a couple things it does better than the 2007 Transformers game. Like I I like that it has a character select and character movement feels really good, but there's some it has shortcomings, but it's still a pretty solid game overall. For the Project '06 game, yeah. I'll be honest, those really aren't my best videos. I was still kind of figuring out the whole I was kind of messing around with the aspect ratio for the videos, and it didn't turn out. They don't look very good, so I might need to redo those at some point. I don't know if I can get the G1 Optimus skin because they unfortunately you can't get those DLCs for that game anymore. Not easily anyway, which is really annoying. Like I appreciate that. I definitely would like to remaster. Like one of these days, I'm planning to just do a playthrough of a bunch of the Sonic games, kind of go in order. I think there are workarounds for it, but I saw a video talking about that, but I think you specifically need an Xbox drive, and I don't know if I want to do that just to get some DLCs for a game that I don't really play too much. So yeah, it is definitely a bummer thanks to Hasbro and Activision splitting. Yeah, it's annoying for sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoyed chatting with my subscribers. It's not too often I get to talk with people who enjoy like Transformers and Lego such. At least that I know there might be people that I've talked to that do like those things. I just feel a little awkward about asking sometimes. I haven't gotten him yet. I'm considering it. I've heard he's not a very good figure, but at the same time, there aren't any other War for Cybertron game barricades, so I might still get him. Yeah, something went wrong with that figure. There's a theory going around that all of the budget for the first batch of Gamer Edition figures went into this guy, and then they were told last minute, "Hey, we also want Bumblebee and Barricade." That's kind of a theory going around. That could be true. Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know. I'm trying to open up more. It's a lot harder to open up when you're an adult than when you're a kid. I haven't really read a ton of those either, but the ones I've read the most of would be Dark Cybertron, so I guess I'd say that one. I would like to read the More Than Meets the Eye comics at some point, though. Yeah, yeah. Here, just a second. Yeah, got him right here. I don't know. I don't think he looks too bad, but I'll see what I think of him once I get him out. And I don't have the original. I don't have the original, so my opinion for this is probably going to be a lot different than if I've had the original. But we'll see. I have not gotten Tankor. Not really too attached to the character. I'm planning to open it. I just haven't yet. Yeah, I hear you. Like I enjoy comics. It's just hard to commit to them, especially when you get into it a lot later. Like I'm wondering if I should start reading the new Skybound Transformers comics now before it becomes too daunting to get into, as opposed to if I were to just get them as they're coming out. But yeah, I am definitely planning to open Gamer Edition Megatron. I open pretty much all my figures. The only one that I haven't really, the main one that I haven't opened is the Transformers the Ride evac that I have up on my cork board. I just think it looks cool in the box, but I might still open it at some point. Oh, I love Calvin and Hobbes. Those are hilarious. That's the best. Just in terms of the funny comics, you can't do much better than that. It's just a shame, really, that it's kind of the overlooked one out of the comics. That's because it didn't have a ton of merchandise or anything. Yeah, yeah. Next year will be 10th anniversary for Trap Team. My personal favorite from the series. Can't believe it's been 10 years already, though. Just feels like everything that I liked as a kid is 10 years old now. Yeah, that's fair because those look pretty cool in the boxes. So that's cool. That's a good one to start with. I have to admit, I haven't experienced a ton of that mold. I have the. I'm suddenly blanking on his name. It was Hot Link. I would have liked to have gotten the Rainmaker set though. All right, probably gonna do. I'm probably gonna end the stream in just a minute. So just lightning round questions anyone has. Yeah, I recommend giving it a try. I will tell you, they are pretty at their core, like without the Toys to Life gimmick, they're pretty basic games, but I think they're still fun. They're nice. They're just kind of nice, laid back games, and just kind of a fun thing to do. So they got fun. They have pretty fun characters and pretty good humor. So I don't know if they can be enjoyed like without the nostalgia behind it, but as someone who grew up with it, I would say recommend it. Exactly. Yeah. Like people seem to think that games have to be challenging to be fun. I think you can have a perfectly fun game that's just laid back and relaxed. And hanging out, that was no problem. That was a lot of fun. God bless you too. Once again, thanks to everyone who tuned into this live stream, everyone who's subscribed to me throughout this year. I'm looking forward to seeing where this channel goes in 2024. So, this is Lego AWC signing out for 2023. And if you enjoyed this live stream, please just try to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless. And you stay safe as well. Thank you.